And here we are again, looking at the MicroBeast. In our last video, we completed the construction and the first power-up of the computer. What we're going to do today is to use the USB port to connect it to our computer to see if we can run some programs. Currently, the little jumper switch is set to be powering the unit from its barrel jack. I'm going to shift that so that we're actually powering it from the USB port. This will mean we only have to have one connection to the MicroBeast. So let's get a USB 3 cable and connect it to our computer. And we'll just plug the other end into our computer. And that's the power applied, and our computer is powering up. So we now have the MicroBeast version 1.5 showing on our Z80 system. So let's now configure our Windows computer to accept data coming down this cable. Now, the one thing I did have to do on the Windows computer was to add this Silicon Labs USB to UART bridge. I did this by going into the Windows updates, clicking on the optional updates and clicking on drivers. Once the MicroBeast was connected, this driver appeared on the list to be installed. Once installed, this appears as one of your ports, in this case COM3. So now that we have COM3 configured, we can now use TerraTerm to connect to the MicroBeast. So we're going to Setup and click on Serial Port. We are setting COM3, speed is 19,200, 8-bit data, no parity and 1 stop bit. And if we open that up and press the reset button on the MicroBeast, and there we are getting information coming up to our display. So if we hit the enter button, and it's picking up our clock speed, the version of the monitor, and it's showing the date. Now, one of the options we can do is to set a real-time clock. As you will see from the MicroBeast, the day, date and time are all showing on here. If we press the down arrow, it changes to select action. We can then press down arrow once more until we get to the message which says set date. And if we hit the enter button there, we can set today's date. So to set the date, we'll set the year, the month, and the date. Once that is complete, we need to use the up and down arrows to change the day of the week. So we'll change this to Saturday and hit the enter button. It's now showing as Saturday, the 7th of September 2024. And if we press the down arrow again, we can set the time. And we'll set the time as 11:31. So that is our date and time now showing successfully on the MicroBeast's own display. If we switch back to the computer view, we can see the same information on screen. One thing that is appearing on screen is there is text appearing after the information which is being displayed by the MicroBeast. Now, I'm not sure if this is a setting on TerraTerm I need to change to avoid this, or if it's something not handled within the monitor. However, let's just hit the enter button and go back to our select action again. And let's try launching CPM. And it's now formatted the RAM disk, and we're on the A drive, so if we do a dir for the directory listing, and we're getting a list of all the files. So we have Microsoft Basic, we have Civ, we have Stat, we have Pip, we have Kcalc, and Zork 1 the adventure game. So let's go into MBasic. And this would appear to be Apple CPM version. copyrighted 1980. So we have 31 kilobytes of memory free. Let's try writing a small program. And there we have a very small program that's just going to print out the numbers between 1 and 10. So if we try running that, it runs quite happily. So BASIC appears to be functional. So let's see, how do we get back to our monitor? System? Nope. Okay, let's try the reset button. Well, our date and time are still there, which is good. And let's go back into CPM. And we will try launching one of the other programs. Let's try Civ. And let's try the first 500. And we'll display the frames on the screen. And there we are running and generating a list of 93 computed prime numbers. So what else do we have on this? We have CPM, we have the memory editor, we have Y modem transfer for transferring data between your MicroBeast and your Windows computer. And we can set the date and time. So let's try memory editor. And we're getting a list from 8000 hex upwards. And we're stepping through 10 hex bytes at a time. Seems fine. And we can also go backwards below the 8000. The monitor is obviously fairly limited, but there's nothing to stop you writing your own. Or downloading another one, a CPM one perhaps, and putting it onto your machine. So how do we escape from this? That's a very good question. Let's just reset the machine again. And we'll go back into CPM. So we have an A drive which has our CPM programs on. Do we have a B drive? We do indeed, which has nothing on it. So we could use our Microsoft Basic to write to the B drive. So there we have on the A drive, the space available is 78K, and on the B drive we have 247K. So the B drive is a reasonable size. So we have proved that our MicroBeast is apparently operational. We can launch CPM, we can run CPM programs from the A drive, and we have a B drive we can put our data on. We've also run Microsoft Basic. And we are both powering and getting data to and from the MicroBeast by using the USB 3 connection. However, as we proved in the last video, you can run your MicroBeast off a power bank plugged into the barrel jack. So the computer can be completely standalone. However, you will be depending entirely on the LCD display, which although is only one line and therefore limited, could be quite useful for many things. Anything sent out to this display is also sent out to the port going to your Windows computer. One thing we haven't touched on yet is the bus connector, the edge connector at the top of the board. This is apparently RC2014 compatible. So we could in theory plug in a number of RC24 cards, one of which could indeed expand our disk storage. However, we will leave that for a later video. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.